What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We back, baby. We back. The Niners are back. We're back. Life is good. It's the Stay Faithful
Yeah,
podcast. I'm your host, Ty Alston. Joining me is my buddy David McNiner. David, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, buddy. It's like, mayhem Monday at work and everything else, but kind of like what we used to call it, manic Monday after a loss. I mean, it's
Yep,
preseason, so I'm not going there yet.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Especially when we got threes and fours out there for most of the game. You just take it for what you
starting our
will.
twos against their ones.
Twos against their ones. That shocked me. Let's get into this. That shocked me. That was the first shocker. To see all of their ones go out there. I was not expecting that. But it was a welcome challenge. I'm kind of glad that they played their ones. Looking back at it, because I got to see, what our reserves are really made of. Could they hold up if need be? Now, of course, all of them would not play at the same time, like they did on Saturday. But nevertheless, it was still a good test for them just to see how they would do out there. And I felt that they held up very well. Very well. It was some guys that played that we haven't heard anything about that I felt shined and did well. And it was welcome surprises. So I'm very happy. The score, if you ignore the score, I'm happy with the outcome of things. How about you?
Honestly, I was looking at it like our number twos didn't look bad against their number ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then
very
as
good.
the game progressed, we were literally a step behind all the way because here they are. They're bringing their number twos in. We're bringing our number threes in.
Threes and fours.
The threes. Then we're kicking the practice squad and on the couch guys in. It's like
they might have put in a Robbie Chosen who just joined the team the other day.
Yeah.
Right? Literally. Guys like that.
Bradley, that guy they just signed the other day too.
Yep, right? Gus Bradley's son. Yep.
And then they signed Tanner Mordecai back the other day at the same, but I think we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anywho, but I like what I saw. Big surprise for me was a guy like Chase Lucas, cornerback, playing nickel. He's a guy that no one was talking about throughout OTAs and training camp, right? I forgot he was actually on the team because no one mentioned him at all. And he had himself a heck of a game. He did everything you want your corner, your slot corner to do. Blitzing off the edge and forcing the run, played well in the passing game. He checked all the boxes. So it was like, hey, maybe we're not so bad there. Quick shout out to Fernando in the house. That's right. Hit that like and subscribe. East Coast Red and Go podcast. What up, Jess? Hey.
Good evening, Jess.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest surprise for me player-wise. What about you?
Well, I mean, just the fact that it was like we started our number twos, against their number ones. They rolled down, score a touchdown. I was like, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow we got a safety because of that. He didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage with that ball. That was the intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding in the end zone is a safety. I was calling it immediately. I was like, throw the flag. Oh, yeah.
And, it's a preseason game, so I'm just watching it. I have my Broncos buddies texting me. I'm like, I fully expect to lose this game, buddy. Like, he's asking me, where's Brock Purdy? I'm like, well, they're not playing until next week, buddy.
Yeah.
So, speaking of my renter that lost the key, hold one moment, please.
Yeah, go ahead. Dude, this dude is always busy, y'all. Always busy. That's why you haven't seen us in a while. I've been busy too. But we back, baby. We back. Just like Niners football is officially back. Guys with pads on hitting another team. So that's awesome. That is completely awesome. But bigger surprise is Marquise Siegel is a guy that we hardly heard about in camp also, right? I know he was dealing with an injury. He was out for a little bit, but he did come back, did practice, but no one really talked about him. And, we spent the 5th round pick on him, wanted to see what he could do, and boy, did he shine. And what I like is that he came up, he enforced the run, he played the pass, he did all the little things. And that's what you want to see out of a young safety, right? You want to see these guys do all the little things early because it leads to bigger things later on. And you can imagine him out there with, Demo and Green and other guys next to him, in the secondary, solidifying that thing outright. So it's just good encouragement to see a young player like that who you heard nothing about go out and shine. You're back.
Yeah. You ain't lying when you say I'm busy, because yesterday I changed my hood, my side steps. This is on the Jeep. I got rid of the hell damage thing. It's a lot nicer now.
Right.
And then there's all kinds of more to that, because, I was like cleaning up my I've been super busy installing equipment today. Like I literally got off work 35 minutes ago.
Wow.
So,
just made it
busy. It's been busy. It's been busy a couple days.
Yeah.
But I actually liked now Chad Lucas, I think wasn't he with us last year?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, why didn't this guy see the field? Yeah, we had, Ward, we had Lenore, right?
Well, that's the thing. You had Lenore holding it down, and he was healthy the whole season. So you weren't going to see him at all. Excuse me.
And I mean, it was it was a pleasant surprise to see him holding it down, though, because now when they go 4 wide, we can bring him in at the other nickel, right?
Well, our defense never goes dime. We stay in nickel the whole time. If you've noticed, we've never gone with 4 defensive backs on the field. I'm talking cornerbacks, a true dime package.
Yeah.
It's always nickel. 2 linebackers stay on the field.
Coverage, with the linebackers, right?
2 linebackers stay on the field. I think last year, was it versus the Rams, where we had all the injuries and 59 didn't get on the field. So we had to go dime because we literally ran out of linebackers. And that was the only time in this regime's history that I can recall. And remember, it's only 7 years now, folks, Kyle Shanahan's regime, that they actually went dime in the game.
And I've never, typically we do stay in nickel, and that's why a guy like Lenore swings inside, and guys that are kind of linebacker safety type. I mean, not saying that's what Lenore is, but he likes to hit it full.
Yeah.
Ask Cole Swift, when he was with the Eagles. But yeah, I mean, the offense, they look good for that first drive, but then, is like the Broncos defense started to get it, right? And this is a good defense we were going up against, though.
Let's exactly. Exactly.
So
I'm not. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say then after our number 2s went out, it was like, oh boy.
Yeah,
we got some work. We got some development to do there as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
So, and that's the thing. You're hoping in an ideal situation, you're not going past your 2s, right? This is where health comes into play. You don't want to go beyond your 2s, where you're getting to the 3s and the 4s. But once again, they wouldn't all be on the field all together at the same time. So preseason is that anomaly where you just see that, but I think what you're saying about Lucas is, we got quality depth, and that's what we want to see. Quality depth. It's like we know who our starters are per se. Like everyone's very high on Upton Stout, who we didn't see. But let's say, for some reason he can't go. Well, we saw Chase Lucas fill in admirably, right? So we see, okay, if we got to go with Lucas on the field, we'll be fine. Along with all of our other pieces that we got out there, he won't be a liability. And that's the key. Same with Marquise Siegel, who we heard nothing about. If Siegel winds up starting for some unknown reason, and you never know, he may land a starting job. Like, safety is a big question mark. Like, I don't think there's a real solidified incumbent safety. Maybe if Malik Mustafa was healthy, you can write him in as a starter in Penn. But aside from him, I think everyone else is a question mark. So Marquise Siegel could be week 1 starter. We don't know. But if he is, you got to love the action. You got to love the playmaking ability, how he was just flying around.
That's true. These guys. So, but these guys we got though, like, we got Salah back. So all of a sudden, here comes D Winters, right? And I was saying now he had bad coaching. He was always seemed to be out of position in the wrong spot, and he was trying to compensate for that and trying to do things that physically a human can't do. Why he gets dinged up, right? Could this be why he gets dinged up? We'll find out. Because this next game, he's going to get some reps.
Yeah, he's going to get more reps. What up, Damian Lee? Jordan Watkins is key. Speaking of, young guys making an impact, Jordan Watkins had himself a pretty good game. Had a few snafus in there, but overall, very positive. Is bad news that he's all of a sudden out with a high ankle sprain. They said it happened during the game, but he just didn't feel it. Adrenaline was high, maybe, his first NFL game, young body, just didn't feel it. Didn't feel it until today, which happens. So he's going to be out a while, which sucks. Especially for young guys, because you want to see them develop. You want to see them go through the whole OTAs, training camp, preseason, and be able to hit the ground running during the season. That sucks. Good news is they said Jacob Cowing should be set to return, but that's kind of like typical 49ers, right? You get a guy back and you immediately lose a guy. So you got a net gain of 0. Your depth is still trash. I mean, it's something about the 49ers. Somebody has a voodoo doll or something out there that they're just casting injuries on us. It happens every year. It's crazy.
Well, the last draft, I'm talking 2024, did pretty good. The few drafts before that, we have like Brock Purdy and possibly D Winters. Maybe Spencer Burger playing left guard, which he was spending a lot of time at left tackle yesterday. I mean, he's
a tackle. He played tackle in college.
That's exactly it.
Left tackle.
But
and remember last year,
left side though, so I could see him winning the left guard spot here. You know how we do.
I don't know.
You know how we do.
They got Barch out there, and they ran other guys out there. I think they want.
Do you think we can count on Ben Barch? Because to this point in his career, he's been plagued with injuries.
Well, I don't know. I know he got injured with us last year. Was he injured in Jacksonville too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
mean,
hey.
I got looking at his career like a little bit ago because
Mm-hmm.
I saw some story come up about it, and I was like,
What up,
oh
Kenny?
boy, you know, like there's a lot of potential there if he can stay
Uh-huh.
healthy. So let's all
Yeah.
keep our fingers crossed. Let's knock on
Yeah.
some wood. Find the person that has the voodoo doll, maybe rob them.
Exactly. Take their stash.
Mm-hmm.
But
Can't
we'll
change them out
see.
with Rams players or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Give them some members of the Ramley. Let them have fun with that. But if it's not Ben Barch, it'd be Nick Zakel, maybe Connor Colby, even though he played on the right side on Saturday. Could he be in the mix for a left guard spot? I don't know. If Ben Barch, gets dinged up again, like what's the depth? And that's the key question mark. That's why I like preseason, because it's not so much about the starters, it's about the young guys and the backups. And it's to really assess, who can be quality depth. Like if someone goes down, who's going to be the guy that can step up and, take hold of the position and hold it down so we can keep this thing going. So like Spencer Burford on the left side, I thought Spencer had a slightly above average game. I thought he did very well the first drive. The second drive looked shaky, even though Kyle says some of that wasn't his fault. But other than that, he was pretty solid throughout the whole half that he played. So him as a swing tackle, I can see it happening. Got to see him on the right side some. You just never know. Can we trade Jake Brindle and Tanner Mordecai for Shador?
Now that's
I don't
a
think that's
trade
happening.
the Browns might actually do because they're not exactly.
The only problem is we released Tanner Mordecai today. He gone.
Surprise, surprise.
I know. He was back and now he's going again. He was here, then he was gone. Then we brought him back. Now he's going again. And
he
after
did
Saturday,
not look good yesterday.
That's what I was about to say. After Saturday, I don't think he'll be back again.
Yeah, Saturday. But I was watching the game. I was like, oh, I can see why they cut him. And then it's like it kept going. I'm like, yep, this guy's definitely getting. I didn't know they cut him today. I thought it'd be like a 90-man cut down type of thing, but
yeah,
they said sooner than later.
Yep. After his performance, it was like, you know what? I think we can move on. I think it's a numbers game. Just we need healthy bodies, and at this point, going forward, Brock's reps are going to, pick up. He should be playing these next 2 preseason games. So after that, you get more Mac Jones as well, and a little less of the other quarterback, Carter Bradley.
Yeah,
a little less of him. Yeah, you get a little less of him. So you don't really need 4 at this point. We can cut down to 3. And like we said, after Saturday, it was like, yeah, you can go.
Eventually, we'll have that guy that played on a partially torn ACL for a season.
Brilliant, Kenny.
I don't know if he'll be back this season. Maybe next season. Though, right?
Yeah. Curtis Rourke, I believe, is the backup quarterback of the future.
Yep.
He's big and strong, but more than that, he's Kyle's type of quarterback that kind of stay in the pocket, get the ball out quick, go downfield too, can move if needed. If you need to move the pocket, right? He's that kind of guy. And they got him rookie contract. He's here for the next 4 years. So even if he doesn't play this season, you still got him for the next 3. You don't have to keep bringing in a free agent quarterback every year. So I think he's the guy to solidify that position, the backup Brock. So these other guys are just Band-Aids. They're just Band-Aids at this point. But yeah, I like that name, Carter Badley, because he was looking bad out there. He started off real rough. Oh, really rough.
Keep in mind, we just signed him Like,
We just signed him. I know. We just
he's
signed
just
him.
getting. He's not even acclimated yet. So this is
Yeah.
why Mordecai got cut loose and he stayed.
Yeah.
You know.
But the funny thing is, you would think Tanner's been here. He was here last year
On the
right?
practice squad.
Yeah, on the practice squad, so he knows a little bit more of the system. He's more acclimated. But they were like, "Nah, you got to go." They told him, "See ya." So, who knows? Who knows? Was there anyone else that flashed in your eyes?
I mean, I was looking. I was watching the defensive line,
Mm-hmm.
and CJ West had a couple plays where I just think he was out of position. But this is all stuff that will get corrected and coached up.
Yeah, and he talked about that too. He talked about the little things, being out of position, being in the correct position, how offensive linemen get away with some things. That is just about getting acclimated to the pro game. And it was good to be out there. But he did make some plays also. I mean, they highlighted the double team he split on the run game. You love to see that, right? Because we were soft up the middle for years. It seems like guys would get double teamed and just get pushed around. So to see a guy actually take on the double team and split it, get penetration, make a play, that's a positive. He did loop around and get a few pressures on the quarterback. So that's a positive as well, because, people aren't talking about his pass rushing ability, but he can get after it. So
Yes.
I like it. What does Kenny say? Do you think Matt Jones
Matt
Jones is the next Sam Darnold? Do you think he's starting somewhere next year?
Who knows?
I don't see
buddy?
it. Remember, Sam Darnold was not supposed to start. He only started because their rookie got injured. Yeah. That's the only he lucked into that, or else he would have been a backup. And he just happened to be on a team with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and some other good receivers and a good play caller. So he had a good season. And now he's in Seattle. And he's going to see life is a little bit different. So can't wait to see him on week 1. Big Red. Let's do it.
Well, and the tight ends, like Tonga, they call him Tongus, or I heard the announcer saying his name. I thought it was Tonga.
Jake Tongus.
That's
what they say it's pronounced. Jake Tongus.
I grew up with some folks that had that last name. They were my neighbors. Mm-hmm. I grew up with their sons, and shout out to them. You got to live in Australia, and you constantly tell me I need to move there.
Yeah.
They're like, you'd have fun down here, Dan. That's what they keep telling me. I'm like,
yeah,
kind of old, guys. Like,
right.
But yeah, I honestly, I think out of the tight ends, he did look good. He might be our third tight end, right?
Yeah.
And, we don't know the roster construction yet. Last year we kept 4 tight ends.
Right.
Maybe this year we're only going to keep 3 to keep extra defensive linemen.
Exactly.
Right. So, it all comes down to roster construction on if we're keeping 4 or not.
Yeah.
But
I
think Tone, huh?
No, I'm saying last year everyone was kind of surprised when we kept 4. Because we normally keep 3. So will they do that again this year? That's a good question, Baya. Like, how will they construct this one?
Yeah, we never know. Like they typically keep sometimes they keep 5 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll just have to see what happens at the on final cut down day.
Yeah,
but
it's a numbers game. Yeah.
So the centers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Hennessy did bad.
No, I thought he had an average game.
You
It was
know,
nothing. It was nothing crazy.
no.
Um,
Then we brought in we brought in Nugent
Drake
after that.
Nugent.
I was
Yeah,
like, I was watching him going,
I know. Didn't do bad either.
like we got a couple decent centers here. Like,
Exactly.
could Jake Brindle be on the hot seat?
I'm telling you. I think that's the thing that they're not talking about it, but they're watching it.
Oh, they'll always say, "Oh, Jake Brindle's great," just in case they end up stuck with him being the starter. They don't want him
Yeah.
mad.
Oh,
I'm
look
supposed to
who's
be out
joining
there.
the party.
Look at this.
Brian Cope in the house.
Who's
What's
this
going
guy?
on? The star of the show.
I know it. I'm just saying, who's this guy?
Can't hear.
Yeah.
You can't hear. We can hear you.
Drop out.
We can hear you.
We hear you. Yeah. So not sure what's happening there. If you drop out, just come right back.
Yeah.
We'll get you in, although he can't hear us. So, but it's good to see you.
He's looking through his settings right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You got to make sure the audio is coming through the correct speaker. Here we go. Darth Cope got a
Devin Cope.
Darth Cope got a haircut.
He is probably gonna make that team too. This is a guy now, but Kenny, this was 2024, buddy. Like that was, that was the guy like in 2024 we would actually draft and really late. Just
Yeah. Name equity alone, But yeah, the numbers game, you brought it up, and just to talk about it real quick, is going to be interesting because you mentioned, do we keep that extra defensive lineman? And that guy, the Hulk, Sebastian Valdez, man, I thought, he would just be a camp body. But after seeing him play and seeing what he could do, I'm thinking he stays around. Like, if we keep 3 tight ends, it's because we're saving a spot for that extra D lineman, which would be Sebastian Valdez, probably, right? Or if we only go with 5 wide receivers.
Well, at this point, I think Sebastian Valdez is making his point to make the squad.
Yeah, big time.
And there's absolutely nothing. We need competition along that line.
Oh yeah,
So,
the more the merrier. I mean, the more linemen that you can have just busting things up, playing the run and the pass strong, and he has a motor. Like, he can move. Did you notice that?
I did.
He can run a bit. So if you got a guy with a motor, high energy, who can get it after a scrambling quarterback, when they try to break the pocket or roll out left, right, and he's in pursuit, that bodes well for us. So,
So what do you think about, like, we were kind of getting a look at extended look at Nick Martin yesterday,
mhm.
And he was pursuing all over the place. Kind of looks like he's still learning the system, and getting coached up, right? Doesn't look terrible though. It doesn't.
Right.
I was just watching the game going, like who's that?
45.
Who's that guy? That guy's getting cut. It was just it's the preseason. It's something I do every year.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, I'm not putting a terrible amount of stock into yesterday's game. I'm honestly remember, Ty, I have this theory about having a good season.
Mm-hmm.
If you suck in the preseason, chances are you're going to have a good season.
Yeah. Yeah. We've gone 0-3 and reached the Super Bowl. So I'm with you there. But yeah, Nick Martin flew around and he got the spot sometimes he's a little out of position. But he was there. You like to see that. He missed a number of tackles, which you don't want to see. That was bad. So the good thing, showed the speed, sideline to sideline, hustled, was in on plays. You love that. The missed tackles in open field, you don't want to see that. You got to make those plays. And to his credit, he owned up to it. This is one thing I'll give him credit for. I think it was Matt Mayoko who talked to him after the game, and he owned up to it. He was like, hey, it's my first game, but I need to be better. I can't let these things happen. He was real humble and down to earth about it, and, said all the right things. So I'm encouraged to see what he does the next game if he bounced back. Brian, can you hear us? You're back, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? You're here, man. Speak. Say something.
Yeah, say something.
Say something. He's looking at his settings. He doesn't see us signaling him to speak. Yeah. He'll get it together. It's been a while for him too. Have you two been doing your Saturday things? Saturday, Sunday? Oh, wait. His mic is on. His mic is hot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's normally working. We did hear something, though. His mic is hot.
Yeah, his mic is hot. Audio came through. I think he's just still having problems hearing us. He's a dark and mysterious man, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. He makes a grand entrance and leaves us in suspense. Oh, wait. I like this. He got hacked by Steve-O.
Oh, that's right.
Hack the planet.
or a Rams fan is like,
member of the Ramley. Got him. Yeah. A guy we talk about a lot, and we weren't sure what he would be looking at. Darrell Luter Jr. actually made some plays on Saturday, which was funny.
I've seen flashes. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to say, from the joint practices, everyone said he had a terrible practice. They said the Broncos receivers were tearing him up in practice. But in the game on Saturday, I don't know if he flipped the switch, if he got tired of getting beat, but he had a very good game on Saturday. Rams beat Dallas, said they didn't do anything. It's like everyone beats them, Look good, but I still like that guy Chase Lucas. Agreed.
No. Did the Rams and the Cowboys play in the preseason?
They played on Saturday. Yeah, they played on Saturday.
And so I get sent this thing, and I was like, I'm not paying attention. It's preseason. I only care about the Niners, so I'm not paying attention to anything else, right? Mm-hmm. But my Seahawks Eddie, my buddy here, he sends me this thing that Dak walked up and said, "See you in the NFC Championship." It's like,
yeah, he told that to the Rams.
Dak?
I know, the Rams owner or something. It was like, dude, don't you say that? Don't you say that every year? I was like, come on. I was like, really? Like, you haven't even gotten close to one. Like, oh my gosh. It's too funny. It writes itself. The jokes for them write themselves. You can't make it up.
No, you can't.
So, yeah. But more power to them. Oh, man. It's too funny. Yeah. The Rams with James Richard at the helm going to the title game. Okay. That's what he's saying. Dak has tickets. That's what he's doing.
He got an epidural. He'll be all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Until he gets hit by one of these 300-pound monsters.
Exactly. Then he's walking, holding his back. I'm telling you, once the back starts to go, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yep. Oh, man. A player, I got to talk about this guy because I really liked what I saw. And I'm thinking we need to keep him because he's a typical like Shanahan type player, and that was running back Corey Kiner. I thought Corey Kiner played very well. He was that typical one cut, put your foot in the dirt, get downhill running back. He showed great vision to hit those holes and get downhill, and he was making it happen. He showed burst and speed and some bounce, and I'm like, where's this dude been? Because no one has been talking about him either. So I wouldn't mind having CMC, Garendo, and Kiner. Really.
I wouldn't mind it. Well, right now we got old Jordan James with a broken finger, but he'll or whatever they had, he'll be back. Yeah. But honestly, we typically keep four running backs and juice, so 5, right? Isn't that what we typically keep?
Well, it's 3 suit up, 3 back suit up, and juice on game day.
One's inactive, and then we got juice typically.
One's on the practice squad, really. What up, Red Jet?
I mean, it's like the way I look at it is, if you're going to keep the young guys around, you got to keep those 4 guys, CMC, Garendo, Corey Kiner, and Jordan James on the roster. You have to cut Patrick Taylor. Shanahan, now the man has done well for us, but he's also been around the league and been cut by many teams. So more than likely to come back to the practice squad is Patrick Taylor.
Yeah.
If you look at the other guys, like you cut Corey Kiner or Jordan James, another team is going to pick that young running back up. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you guys time, but it's just I couldn't hear. So yeah, have no fear, I'm here. But
all right.
Okay. A whole lot of resetting up there. I'm sorry for everybody, but thanks for the patience. Thanks for having me back, guys.
It's all good. How you been, buddy?
I've been as well as I can be. Got to see at a preseason game the other night. At least the highlights. I was out there working until I got home, and it was almost over by the time I got home. So
wow.
Yeah. We didn't do too bad. It was 9-0. And they didn't we didn't play our starters. We played backups. So 9-0 against their starters.
Exactly.
I didn't hear Denver laughing during the game. I know they were laughing during the practice, but they weren't laughing during the game.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of really excited about Matt. I really, really am excited about Matt Jones. I like Brock Purdy, but Mac looks like he can definitely attack. He can take care of the ball, and he can definitely move this offense. It's weird. If we would have started out with Mac a couple years ago, imagine how far we'd be along now, or he would be, right? And I think somebody brought up a good point in the chat earlier. Where's Mac going to be next year? Because we already know Sam Darnold's not with us, and he looks a lot better, right? So Brock Purdy better stay healthy. That's all I got to say right now.
Well, but they just gave Brock a big contract. He's not going anywhere. Yeah.
We've seen that, what happens with big contracts and injuries. We've seen that. And if you're hurt and you can't play, it doesn't matter how much we paid you, because if you're not on the field, that's all that matters. They're not going to sit back and hold a spot. If Mac Jones comes in and wins the Super Bowl this year, say there was a Brock Purdy injury, Purdy's not going to be on the team next year. Let's just put it like that. They're not going to do it.
I don't know. With them cap hits, I don't know.
Because we had a lot of teams that wanted to trade for him this year. And I imagine the same teams are going to want to trade for him this year. I don't know how long Aaron Rodgers will be with the Steelers. And the Steelers really wanted Brock. The Commanders wanted Brock until they found out their rookie quarterback was doing good too. So
that's the thing. It's a whole different dynamic. So I don't know. Plus, you're talking about trading for a guy who got injured again with a big contract. Like, a lot goes into that. I don't know. But anywho, that's all speculation. I agree with you. I thought Mac Jones played a solid game as well for his first time out in the offense. It's good to see, that he can go out there, get the chains moving, get the offense going, and help us, just put points on the board. Just knock on wood if we have some type of, malfunction with the starting quarterback, that he can step in and get the job done.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We need a quarterback that our coach is confident in, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the fans want. We have to have a quarterback that our coach likes and our coach wants. That's what's going to happen. And yeah, Brock Purdy, he looks really good too. I'm not going to say he's doing anything wrong out there. He looks really good too. And the contract, they paid him what I guess the going rate for the quarterbacks are. Wasn't my choice to pay him that much money, but I'm not really mad about it either. Every year the salary cap goes up. Every year somebody else gets, to wear the hat saying I got the biggest bag. And I guess this year it's just Brock Purdy's time. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised on some of the cuts that they've had this year. But with this last game, preseason, the special teams definitely looks a lot better. So, like letting players go, like our long snapper that's been on the team for a long time, or our punter that was on the top. But special teams look better. So sometimes you got to clean up. And sometimes you lose somebody, but you got to let that favorite shirt go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They had nowhere to go but up. And, we've talked about it. Right, David? We've talked about it. Like the kick coverage was terrible. Like it was just flat out terrible. So to see them actually go down, make tackles, not give up big returns where our kicker had to make a tackle, that was encouraging. I know it was only week 1, but it was like, okay, this is what we want to see. Guys were rallying to the ball as well. It wasn't just like one guy making a tackle. That's what I like to see. You had a convergence amongst the coverage unit to the ball. So hopefully, it is going in the right direction. And I fully believe that it'll just be better overall this year.
It definitely appears that way. It seems like we're a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little faster, a little bit more, like you said, everybody wants to tackle. I seen a lot of people last year, they got hurt. When the kicker's making the tackle at the end of the play, that's never a good thing.
Nope.
So what's your guys' thoughts on that that really neat defensive tackle we got? I like to say the word neat because they give him a neat too. And if you haven't heard, I'm telling you guys now, we got a Hulk on the team, an incredible Hulk. So what do you guys think about him?
Yeah, we spoke about him a little bit when he was popping in and out. I like him. Big, strong, and all that, but he's got a motor to him, and he could run. So anytime you got a guy who can, get after the quarterback, get some pursuit, get pressure up the middle, you got to find a way to keep him on the roster, I think.
I like him. I think if we put him next to Bosa, that's going to be a nice change of pace, and you're not going to be able to stop both of them. And you're not. And he's good. He's good at stopping the run too. So I think that's going to be a good acquisition. He's going to be really, really swell for our team. Yep. So what's your guys' early season prediction then? I know we played one preseason game, but me and David talked a little bit about it a couple whenever last time we streamed, and he was saying maybe 11, 12 wins, and I'm about that ballpark, but I'd like to say maybe 13 because I think we can really do something different. What we have going for us this year that other teams aren't going to be ready for is a surprise, because everybody thinks we cleaned house and we got rid of all of our veterans, and these rookies aren't going to be able to do anything. So it's kind of, I feel like the 2019 vibes is coming, where they don't really, they know we got something, but they don't know who. And if Kyle steps back just a little bit and he lets Saleh step up a little bit, I think that's going to be that's going to be the balance right there.
Well, he should, if he's smart. He's done it before, so why go backwards, right?
Yeah.
Robert Saleh knows how to coach a defense. Leave him alone. Let him coach the defense. Kyle, you worry about the offense. You worry about these guys putting the ball into the end zone, something that the team struggled mightily with last season. Scoring was very hard. Scoring touchdowns was extremely hard for the offense last year. So they have to rectify that.
Well, scoring points in general was really hard last year. We couldn't make it with the kicker. We had 3 or 4 different kickers. They couldn't make it. Then the offense, falling apart just left and right. We had a tight end injured or a running back or a wide receiver. We didn't start with our wide receiver. It was like 4 games before he started. So we definitely had some injuries piling on. And everybody's saying, the Super Bowl hangover and stuff. I don't necessarily think that was so much it.
No.
I think it was just we had some injuries. I think if some of the guys would have started a little bit sooner, we probably would have been doing better. But it is crazy to say that people practice too hard. I mean, if you practice too hard, you can get injured. So we do need CMC to cool it there. That's for sure, because he was probably going to be the MVP of that Super Bowl if he wouldn't have fumbled. He was the MVP of the season.
Yeah.
So
he was going down the field just crazy. They couldn't stop him. The fumble killed a lot. He killed a lot of momentum, a lot of drive. But yeah. But no.
Well, I could keep giving you guys a bunch of questions, but I just wanted to pop in. I got home a little early today, so I wanted to jump in and hi and tell the fans out there and everybody else that's part of the community hello. But as long as you guys want to go, I'm here. But again, I know you guys covered a lot of stuff, so it is great to be back. 49er football's back, and if you guys are interested, just keep coming around because David and Ty keep the channel going. And tell a friend, subscribe, share, and even ask questions. Questions help. It really does.
Yeah. I want to bring up Kenny's comment again real quick. Let's keep going a bit. That the most important thing is success of the season, a cupcake schedule. Hey, you can't overlook teams though. Even though it's easy on paper, you can't overlook any team because we've played teams that are easy looking on paper before and lost. Right? We all remember a few years ago us going to Minnesota and there's no Justin Jefferson and there's no this guy and we lose. And there's that infamous game against the Cardinals where Kyler Murray doesn't play. DeAndre Hopkins doesn't play. They start, what's that dude's name? I can't remember his name right now, but backup quarterback, journeyman, blah, blah, blah. And they stomped us at home. Right? Like these things happen. So you can't say, schedule's easy. It's easy on paper, but we still got to show up and do our part. Or else we're going to be losing games and then everybody's going to be in an uproar. How did we lose to that team?
Well, that's exactly it. It's like why you play the game, even though the schedule is weak. And that's the same thing kind of what's going on for us because, considerably, we didn't have a very good record last year. So people were saying, oh, well, the Niners aren't, their Super Bowl window's closed and, they're going to be a walkover. So give them an easy schedule this year. It's not an easy schedule.
Thank you, Damien.
A last place schedule. So right now we're playing a last place schedule. Yeah, if we are the 49ers and the team that we believe we are and we know we are, then we should be first place in the division. Now, yeah, we'll take all the help that we can get. If Matthew Stafford is hurt, like they're saying, and we actually have to play against Jimmy Garoppolo this year, that should be a couple good games. That's going to be fun to watch. Kyler Murray, I don't think he got any taller, and I heard there was a new I heard there's a new out, and so I'm just saying, and it's the same thing. Sam Darnold up there, we played against Seattle. Sam Darnold. I'm sure we know how to scare him a little bit, or we know. I know he got over on us in Minnesota, but you have to kind of look at that too. When you look at certain teams and you look at the records before the games start, when there's been years a team hasn't won in a certain city, that's not a good bet. That's not a good bet at all. And we haven't won in Minnesota since what, like 92, 93? That's not a good bet. So even if we go in with the best roster ever, that's not a game you should bet your rent on, your paycheck or anything. Don't do that. It's one of those things is sometimes you should be happier after the end results and not brag before it happens because you don't want to be walking out with no money, right? And that's the thing. You guys seen what happened with the Raider game, the Raider and Seattle game?
No, I didn't watch it. Seattle
fans thought they were going to win. They thought they were going to win, and the Raiders would have won the game and stole the game. It would have been a dink off the field goal post. The kicker hit the and it bounced off. And now there's no overtime in special.
In preseason. Yeah, I saw it tied. It was tied 23-23. Yeah,
there used to be a preseason tie. A preseason overtime. I know I've seen them before. So
yeah, they stopped that years ago.
I don't know, guys. It sounds like they're making it easier for everybody. Easier for everybody. We're not getting the entertainment that we earned, right? We paid for this entertainment, right? We rep the jerseys and we should get to see more football, right? But they keep taking the practices away and they keep taking everything away. So
it's all about player safety.
Yeah. Yeah, that way they're not in football shape and they get injured as the season goes. Player safety.
Yep. Player safety. Exactly. It's the dumbest things. Player safety, but we need 18 games now. Player safety. Okay, NFL. You know what it's really about.
That, expand the roster to like 60. Okay.
I know.
So it sounds like they're going to make it. Sounds like there's 2 bye weeks coming. But with the one hang up right now that I've heard is they want to get rid of Thursday night games. The league don't want Thursday night to go anywhere. But the players
the players do.
The players are like, this is the worst. And honestly, if you knew there was a game Sunday and Monday and that's it, then you got a good way of maybe staying healthy and being able to recover. But if there's a game, and we've been on the tail end of it where we end up playing a team right off their bye, and we have to play them on Thursday night. Where's that fair? And then we go. That's not fair at all.
Not fair at all. Yep.
So, but
we just went through that. Yeah. I know.
Somehow they got to figure it out.
It makes no sense, and the league is now expanding into Fridays and Saturdays. I mean, there always was Saturdays, but it always occurred like week 15 and 16 of the year traditionally, way back. But now they're pushing it up and they want, this thing to happen like mid-year, a Friday game, or, it's Christmas. Let's have a game on Christmas and all this other stuff. And the players hate it. They do. They don't want it, but it's revenue driving. It's all eyes on the NFL for that day. So the owners don't care.
Here's a question. If you have to have football on Thursday night, how are you going to make it more competitive? Because it seems like almost every Thursday night football game, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's maybe been 1 or 2 games in my memory that I can recall. I think the Rams and the Chiefs, they played in the yellow and red, the mustard and ketchup game. And that went over like 50 points. Both teams all score but most of the time they don't score that many points. Maybe one team, but that's that team that's coming off the bye week, right?
Yeah.
So how do we make it where you actually want to stay awake for the game?
I don't know.
They're gonna have.
I do not know. They got to do something.
The international games are getting out of hand too. Are we trying to actually establish a team in like Japan and Israel and I mean, like, where are we going with this? Because we were playing games in Brazil, Mexico, Germany, London.
Yep. Aren't they going somewhere else this year? Somewhere new? I can't remember. But yeah. But it's the owners, all that travel on the body.
Playing in Beijing yet?
It's coming. Watch.
So so it's the National Football League, right?
Okay.
Soon it will be the World Football League.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if you see a team. It's in London to start off with, and then it expands from there.
What's the word? Did you guys get to see the 70-yard field goal? The Jaguars.
Yeah, and Jaguars kicked her. Yeah.
Did you hear?
I think his name is Little. Yeah.
Did you hear about the preparation? They've changed.
No.
Okay, so everybody pause. There's ball prep time now, right? So before you could only get the kicking ball like 3 hours before the game, but now they get it like a day before, and they're actually allowed to take like a sander to it. They're allowed to, put oils all over and soak it and make it softer and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I remember when I was kicking, we liked having the practice balls because they were, a little bit more tore up. But the coaches always said that too. They didn't want us kicking a brand new a football.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to. You want to have the nice balls for the starters, right? Or for the offense. So you got like 50 footballs or whatever, and all of them that are the kicking balls are like the worst ones. Mm-hmm. So for this league now to come out and change the way that the kicking is going to be done and the preparation for the balls again, right? Guys, they are saying that the 70-yard field goals are going to start popping out more and more. This guy who made the 70-yard field goal isn't even the strongest kicker in the league.
Well, we've seen over these years that kickers' legs are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Like guys who, 50 used to wow us, but guys are hitting 60-yarders now, 60 plus. Here comes this kid hitting 70. Like it's going to happen. When I saw him line up at the opposing 40, I was like, no way. That's insane. And sure enough, he drilled it. So, but like you said, the quarterbacks used to be able to, scuff up their balls, their footballs and have it, nice and scuffed up the way they want it. Now they've expanded that to kickers, that they can pre-treat a football and scuff it up the way they want to. And you're going to start seeing longer kicks. Yep.
Sorry, I had to say it.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian. I literally seen him take a sander to the ball. And I'm like, at a certain point, it still has to weigh the same amount as the perfect ball, right? The one that you just, if you're taking off all the grip and everything, I mean, you're losing like the integrity of the ball, right? But we seen Tom Brady get in trouble for like deflate gate and stuff like that. So this is the next thing that's going to come out. There's going to be like a kicking gate or something like that where.
Sure enough.
Guys,
who knows?
Now, sanding the ball, is that like for weight reduction so it travels further? I mean, what the?
Cuts through the wind more, maybe, because it's smoother? Who knows?
Huh.
Kicker knows, that's for sure.
Yeah, the kicker knows. Yeah, he knows what he likes.
Brian, why I got you. What was your take on the whole kicker competition thing when they cut the other guy and kept Moody? What'd you think?
Well, to be honest with you, I can't trust a guy with two first names. As, like got two first names and one's the last.
Greg name. Joseph.
Right. So no, but I didn't think Moody was really in jeopardy of losing his job to begin with, because if you look at him from last year, he got hurt, and they cut the kickers last year, and the reason he got hurt is because he was making a tackle. Then he played through his injury because I think they were telling him, if you don't, we're going to have to let you go permanently on IR, and it's going to cost the team this much money. So, I mean, look how many kickers they had, and we were having kickers with some success a little bit there, but we did have like two of them that ended up doing the same thing that Moody did and try to tackle, and they got hurt. I don't think it was I don't think it was it was a fair competition, but guys, you can't just cut your third round kicker because people didn't like that he missed the field goal in the Super Bowl. That wasn't the reason.
He didn't miss a field goal in the Super Bowl.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Okay, block, however you want to say it. There was an extra point that he didn't make, and that was
okay. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to ask you a key question, though. This is a key question.
Okay.
When a quarterback goes back to pass, and he throws it, and an offensive lineman bats down that pass, do you say the quarterback missed the pass or made a bad throw?
Yes, and you have to.
Really?
Even though,
why is that?
His intangibles, right? But maybe he could have moved. Maybe he could have thrown it faster. Maybe he could have thrown it a little higher. He let the ball go from his hand. So in the moment he thought he can make the throw, well, you didn't. You weren't as perfect as you were. You weren't as cautious as you were. So as that moment happens, right? He should have thrown it hard enough to break the fingers of the lineman, right? Linemen should be afraid to put their hands up in the air because he's going to break their fingers because the ball's coming out that fast. Yeah, it's not his fault that somebody put their hands up, but then you could have ran over to the side a little bit. You could have got into the windows. When I was quarterback in high school, they said I wasn't tall enough. And I say, well, how am I not going to be tall enough? Oh, someone will bat the ball down, but I can move over to the side. I can get over to the side where I can see clearly and nobody will be in my way. So yes, it is your job to make sure that the ball's secure. And if you throw the ball, every time you throw the ball and it's getting batted down, whose fault is that? It's your fault for having cement feet and not moving around in the pocket, right? Because even if you drop back further, like a punter's back further, he can kick the ball out. But when they get closer, yeah, your hands, you can't stop other people from getting on the ball. But then if a quarterback throws an interception, who's to blame? Is it the wide receiver or is it the quarterback? So it really kind of has to be like that moment, right? You have to judge each moment. So I guess to be honest with you, it goes on the moment, but I would still put the blame on the quarterback. The quarterback's the one who gets the most money. The quarterback's the captain of the team. The quarterback's the one and only person who can really move that ball down the field because he's the one who says hike. So yeah.
Okay, that is the weirdest take I've ever heard, but I appreciate you for saying that. That's why I like you. You just go off on a tangent and think completely out of left field. But I'm with Damian Lee. All conventional wisdom tells us that it's the lineman's fault. The linemen have to block. We always hear you got to get that guy's hands down and keep him off your quarterback, right? If a guy is getting penetration enough to be able to block a pass, that's kind of on the offensive lineman's fault. Why isn't that? But my question, my real key question here, Kenny, and people in the chat, you could chime in, is why isn't that same thought pattern applied to the kicker? So the kicker is set, like right? Brian, you talked about the quarterback can move around. A kicker can't move around. He's in a set spot. His offensive line has to block for him. So, if that offensive line gets penetration and someone gets their hands up and block a kick, how can you blame the kicker and not the offensive lineman?
So same thing, right? You got the quarterback, and you're asking your offensive lineman to keep the defensive tackles and the edges, their hands down. How can you do that without holding? And then if you have your kicker, and your kicker's asking the line to do the same thing, try to hold the defense or the special teams hands down, someone's going to get flagged. You can't hold people's hands.
No, but in the form of a kicker, you don't hold, but you have to hold the line. The kicking line is like old school Roman battle, where everybody you make a line and some guy yells out, "Hold the line." That's their job, to not allow penetration from the defense, right? But if these guys push the line back, which we saw in the Super Bowl, and someone gets close enough to get their hands up and block a kick, how is that not the line's fault?
The line has one job. They're supposed to block, right? To hold people's hands down. They're not supposed to stop people from jumping over the line. Remember everybody jumping over the center back a couple years ago? They changed that, made that a rule. So how can you put that on the line when guys jump? They jump behind the line. They'll be like 3 feet away from people and try to jump, and they're not even rushing the line. So how can you blame somebody for not blocking a player when they're just supposed to stand on the line and the kicker didn't get the ball up high enough? I know, just like when you throw a football or when you go to kick the ball, if you do it the right way, you can do the breadbasket where you can throw it over somebody's head, right? It was the same thing with the ball. If you kick the ball at the right angle, it's going to pop up and go over somebody. You might not have the same distance, but that goes on to like thinking about how are you going to make the play. So if you know that you got a good chance that you're going to get blocked, maybe you need to get in there faster. Maybe you don't need to take 7 steps. I still got to say that you can't blame somebody on the line for not blocking when you're not.
Why not? That's their job.
But you can't hold their hands down. You can't stop them from jumping up and down.
No. Time out.
You're just supposed to make sure they don't hit the kicker, right?
Time out. No. You're supposed to make sure they don't get penetration enough to affect the kick. So if this is the offensive lineman, here's the defender. They meet. That offensive lineman has to hold up. If that offensive lineman, starts getting pushed back and you get into or near the kicker, you're not doing your job. Just like an offensive lineman for a quarterback, he has to hold up, anchor, and keep that guy there. keep him off the quarterback. If he's getting pushed back into the quarterback, he's not doing his job. So why is it that we can blame like an offensive lineman blocking badly for a quarterback, but we can't do that for a kicker?
Okay, here's your answer. Quarterback's valued more than a kicker. Quarterbacks can't do no wrong, right?
Send me your Jake Moody jersey. You don't deserve it anymore. I can't believe you just said that.
A quarterback.
Kickers need love too, damn it.
Hey, they're all people. But when you have a quarterback who says, man, I just need the line to block. Okay? You don't hear kickers saying, I just need the line to block, because nobody cares. You have one job.
Yes, they do.
Right? They don't care if anybody blocked for you or not. Your job is just to make the kick, right? So, I don't know, guys. I don't think you can really blame the line for not holding someone's hands. You can't stop somebody from holding their hands.
Kenny says, I got penetration once. Who was the lucky guy?
Oh my gosh. That's the lucky guy. Oh my god.
He set himself up for it.
Wow.
There you go. Kickers are one of the greatest natural resources. Exactly. Wait. 32 kickers just unsubscribed to Brian Cole. He lost the entire kicker community.
I know.
The entire special teams community is gone.
I know I have one NFL kicker subscribed to my channel. I know that for a fact. That's funny. But yeah, you just like, if it's gonna be the case like that, then why did they should just let the kicker do a free kick? Just right there. Boom. Don't
It's
even worry
part of
about
the game. It's part of the game. No, but getting back, we kind of got off topic because I knew I could have this great discussion with you. But going back to just the competition overall, I agree with you. It was Jake Moody's job to lose. He is the incumbent, right? And normally you don't replace the incumbent unless he's just god awful, which we know in the second half of the season he was. But in the first half, he was outstanding. Now, it has come out that Jake Moody was injured for the second half of the season. He was never fully healed. You can check with all the beat writers. They've all reported this. So that has played a role into it. So I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, let's give him an assessment, another look, being fully healthy, and let's see how this goes. So a healthy Jake Moody is actually a darn good kicker. And you just don't get rid of, a darn good player, as John Lynch likes to say. You don't get rid of darn good players. Bryant will have a lot of kickers in his front yard tomorrow. Yep. We heard you on the show.
And then they'd be proud to hear what I said too. They know their job's to get kicks.
Get over here. Let me sand those balls. Pause.
Oh, shit.
Sounds painful.
Hey, we could work on a Manscaped promo right there. We can get an ad.
Exactly. Manscaped. Oh, hit us up. We need a sponsor.
We need a sponsor.
That's right.
Guys, it's been a lot of fun. 49ers football is just going to get more and more fun. We play the Raiders next.
We got the Raiders on Saturday, our second preseason game. We should see starters playing, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking to see how those guys look out there. And with the addition of the young guys like Ricky Pearsall, hopefully Jacob Cowing gets on the field. I have no idea which running back will get on the field because it seems like they're all hurt. I know Patrick Taylor and Corey Kiner will be out there for now, fingers crossed. But it's going to be good to see a lot of those guys out there. See a lot of the familiar faces. This guy tied me up real quick. Oh my gosh. I'm not even going to say this out loud.
Baby O.
Okay, Jeff Foxworthy. We got you.
So, is it Emiliano? The comment right before Kenny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed you, buddy. Hey, Emiliano. If that's the case, if he was good before the injury, then why is he changing his kick mechanics coming into the season? I'll tell you exactly why. Because Jake Moody is not one of those players that just sit back and just chills on his morals. He actually works on his craft. So he's finding ways to get better, which is what we all want from our young players, even the vets. We always want them to work on their craft and get better, right? Why does he have to take a 5-step drop when his leg is strong enough to take a 2-step drop? You know, I should say approach, not drop. You know what I mean? He's working on his accuracy to be even better. He's working on his craft. You want that. I don't care if it's the kicker, wide receiver, running back, etc. You want that from all your players. But for some reason, there are fans that are faulting him for it and questioning him for that. And it boggles my mind as to why they're doing that.
And you have to think about it too, like a pitcher. Pitcher has a knuckleball, it has a fastball, right? Oh, but you're telling me a kicker can only kick one way? Kicker can't. Oh, I'm going to kick it this way because it feels better. Or maybe that guy right there is going to put his hands up, and I can't trust the line, So
yeah,
I get closer and quicker. And, I don't think it's really an issue. That I think people are making more of an issue out of it because they don't like Jake Moody. You don't like Jake Moody. That's your feelings. That's your mood. That's fine. But like we just said too, guy was injured. He came back. He wasn't fully recovered from his injuries. He had the leg last year, but it would go left when we needed a little bit more in the center, or go right when we need. So it wasn't left or right. It wasn't like every time he kicked it was going left. No, it was going both ways, and he had the distance. So there was definitely an injury. There was something that was hindering him, maybe a leg cramp, or there was definitely something pulled or whatever his injury was. It wasn't right. And now if he feels like he needs to take 2 steps to kick it, let him kick it. I know one thing, since they changed the and maybe if we would have known that they were going to change the way the kickoff is, maybe we didn't draft Jake Moody, because one of the big things for Jake Moody is his kickoff ability, not his football ability, his kickoff. He can kick the ball and it bounced right there out the 1-yard line and not roll in for a touchback. He was really good at getting it to the corner and it's staying on the field. So those things you can't really, you don't forget. But if we're not kicking the ball the way he was taught in college or in high school, because kickoff is now different, and who knows, maybe next year kickoff will be different because they don't have it right. It's all about player safety, and they don't.
I know.
So
they keep moving up a touchback too, which makes no sense.
Fair catch keeps on getting changed. Before you were able to signal for fair catch, now you're not. Just a bunch of little weird things like that. So until they can get that right, then we're going to be seeing some weird things with kickers and stuff. But Jake
Here goes Kenny. They should. It should be something in his honor.
We would have won that Super Bowl. People would never have said anything about Jake Moody kicking that field goal that long. They would never. You would have heard it from me, maybe Ty, David.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would have been us too.
And not many people care about.
Was it for that 55-yarder?
Nah. Who's going to really say, oh, man, our kicker kicked a 55-yarder in the Super Bowl, and that's the reason we won? No, we didn't win because of the field goal. It was the touchdown at the end of the game, right? It was something totally different. But, guys, if he keeps missing, the Jake Moody jersey, you might get it in the mail quicker than you think. I don't want him to keep.
I hear you.
I don't want him to keep missing either. And I like the guy, but it doesn't matter how much you like somebody. If they're not doing their job, then it's about the team, not the player.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you 100%. I like the guy, but I want to see him bounce back from the second half of the season, make his kicks. He made his one extra kick on Saturday. Didn't get any opportunities to kick again, but had a really good kickoff, like you mentioned. Got that thing right on the goal line. It was splendid. So maybe he'll get a few more opportunities to kick on Saturday. Home of the Super Bowl. He's used to kicking in that stadium, so maybe you'll get to see him on display. But we play the Raiders next. That should be a fun game. Like I mentioned, starters will be out there. We can see those guys a little bit. Fred Warner and Kittle and Bosa and all those guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But guys, this has been an awesome show. We got to wrap it up. Brian, thanks for popping in, buddy. It's always great to have you. You know, you are always welcome. You can just show up, man. You know, if you got the time, you can always just show up.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. David, what you got going on this week?
Well, we got Corey Davis 49er Wednesday, where we'll be talking about what's going on, for, pretty much league wide for the preseason. So tune in, folks.
Sweet. And Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I got East Coast Red and Go, Jess and the gang. We're going to have Beto on. He's going to chop it up with us. So everybody, tune in for that if you can. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The chat was popping. You guys are awesome. We had some fun. Always make sure to stay faithful. The season is just getting going. And David, can you please take us home?
Hey, it's Go 49ers, and as Corey Davis says, F all 31 other teams.
Darn tootin'. See you, everybody.